Questions?
I have a question on a slightly unrelated matter. This week, Leader Schumer said he expects to bring forward Senator Verno's anti-American hate bill. Do you all anticipate supporting that even now, as we're starting to hear that Senator Moran's bill may also, or promise an amendment to it?
I look forward to the support from all of our Democratic colleagues for our bill getting rid of the unfair antitrust exemption enjoyed by Major League Baseball. Look, when they acted this way, when they made this announcement about the All-Star game, my immediate thought was this is the behavior of a monopolist. When a monopolist behaves in certain ways, you start to ask questions. And when we see anti-competitive behaviors of one sort or another, when you see one actor dominating a particular field in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, when you look at some of the actions of companies in the tech sector, for example, like Apple and Facebook and Google, when you look at that, sometimes you ask yourself the question, why? Why are they doing this? Why would they insult half of their customer base? Why would they alienate this or that entity with whom they've contracted? Very often, when we're dealing with an antitrust issue, the answer lies in monopoly status. Very often it exists in the fact that if you can get away with something, if you can maintain monopolistic control over an industry, then that empowers you to do that. It makes you feel emboldened because you lack competition. That's exactly what happened here. That's why the first question I asked myself is, why would they do this? Why would they enter into the contract with the city of Atlanta? Why would they decide to do that and alienate that many of their viewers? They lack competition. And they've enjoyed that lack of competition for 99 years due to a judicial mistake. But it's a judicial mistake we can correct, and we intend to do so.
Yep. You've all noted that the NFL, NBA, NHL don't have this protection. They also don't have any leagues that rival them in the marketplace on that same level. Is the expectation that this would allow a rival league to spring up, or is it more meant as a symbolic gesture? And Senator Hawley, particularly, you come from a state with two Major League Baseball teams. What's the expectation that this would mean for those teams in St. Louis? Go ahead.
The short answer to your question is it's not done with the expectation or a desire to achieve a particular outcome in the marketplace. Whether or not some competitor springs up is entirely up to the marketplace and anyone potentially willing to pursue that sort of a thing. So I neither know whether that will be the outcome, nor do I have a strong opinion about whether it should or will occur. My point here is that of all of the factors that one should consider when deciding whether to form a league of any kind, you ought not have to stop and think about the fact that an existing market incumbent will be able to collude against any upstarts and engage in other behavior that would otherwise violate antitrust laws because of some kind of exemption.
I would say, Brian, I think that when you look at this, sure. When you look at this, as you rightly point out, the other major sports leagues don't have this exception for the antitrust laws. So what it really amounts to for Major League Baseball is a huge subsidy. You know, Senator Cruz mentioned this. I mean, the carve-out really represents government funding of Major League Baseball in a way that the NFL, the NHL, the NBA don't get and don't have. So this isn't about being anti-baseball. It is about being pro-fairness, pro-competition, and it's about being anti-monopoly. And there's no reason why baseball should enjoy special subsidies from this government and the American taxpayer when Congress has never voted on it, no American president's ever signed it, the Supreme Court invented it. The league is effectively being subsidized with taxpayer dollars in a way that no other league is. Why should they have that special carve-out and get those special subsidies? And I think their behavior now, this monopolist behavior that Senator Lee's talking about, really brings this issue to the fore. I mean, this is a league that increasingly wants to exert political influence and at the same time wants to get government handouts and government subsidies. They just can't have it both ways.
Well, and let me point out also, you brought up both football and basketball. At various periods in history, both football and basketball have had rival leagues. That is always a potential. That is a check on behavior in the marketplace. And when it comes to Major League Baseball's exemption from the antitrust laws, that's a special benefit only baseball gets that nobody else gets. It's not just the existence of rival leagues. It's anti-competitive behavior that baseball is allowed to carry out. And that is a special subsidy. It is corporate welfare coming from Washington. And in this instance, Major League Baseball is behaving with arrogance. I thought Senator Lee actually pointed it out very well. It's the arrogance of a monopolist. It's the arrogance that they're counting on the fact that their fans have nowhere to go. Listen, I'm a big Houston Astros fan. I'm happy to cheer on the Rangers as well, but I love my Astros. I'll tell you, there are a lot of baseball fans I know of who are pissed off at this move, but at the same time don't necessarily want to turn off the TV and stop watching sports. And the monopoly power they have, they're counting on the fact that their customers are stuck, that they can't go anywhere. Well, they should play by the same rules everyone else should, and they should stop engaging in dishonest politics. This woke corporate America is based on lies. It's based on being conscripted in to the Democrats' effort to pass H.R. 1, the Corrupt Politicians Act. This is about seizing control of democracy so that only Democrats can be elected. And corporate America is willingly going along with that. That is contrary to the interest of a whole lot of customers. It's contrary to the interest of a whole lot of employees. It's contrary to the interest of a whole lot of shareholders. And it's contrary to the interest of a free and fair democracy, which right now Major League Baseball has stood against. And not only that, they've struck a real blow against the city of Atlanta, a majority-minority city, 51% African-American, and Major League Baseball has said those jobs, they can go jump in a lake. It is wrong, it's hypocritical, and it needs to stop.
Last question.
Thank you, Senator. There's reporting that the White House is going to be withdrawing all troops from Afghanistan by September 11th. Wondering, for whomever would like to answer, if you can just comment on that timeline
I want to add to something my colleagues just mentioned by noting that I don't have the ability to peer into any conversations that may have occurred within the leadership of Major League Baseball. I don't know whether this was exclusively a decision on their part to do a favor to the Democratic Party to help assist in the passage of the Illegal Voting Act, H.R. 1, or whether it was simply a business decision. Perhaps they had entered into a contract and made arrangements for Atlanta and decided that Denver would be more economically advantageous for them, and then they used this as pretext for it. Or maybe they had some other reason. I don't know. My point is, there are a lot of possibilities as to what subjectively motivated them. But they did make this decision, and it's a decision you wouldn't see from an entity that wasn't insulated from market competition by our antitrust laws. And that's why it's a problem. As far as Afghanistan withdrawal, I'm glad to see us moving out. I've got a daughter who was an infant when that war started. She's now halfway through college. I want to see us get out of there, and a timely withdrawal seems like a good thing to me.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Senator,